Hello everyone and welcome in my channel. So in this video we're gonna look at the anatomy and some functions of the nervous system. So the nervous system organized group of cells specialized for the conduction of electrochemical stimuli from sensory receptors through a network to the site at which a response occurs. So we can say that the nervous system is a complex information processing. It is a system of neurons and tissues that regulates the actions and responses of our body. So generally the nervous system has three main functions: sensory input, integration of data, and motor output. So our nervous system is divided in two components. The first is the central nervous system, which includes the brain and the spinal cord. This central nervous system is responsible for integrating, processing, and coordinating sensory data and motor commands. So, as I said already, the nervous system can be divided into two major subdivisions. The first was the central nervous system, and the second is the peripheral nervous system, which contains the nerves going to and from the central nervous system, and it contains also the ganglia. So the peripheral nervous system gets all information into the brain and controls directly all responses you make because it connects the central nervous system to the rest of the body. So this peripheral nervous system is again divided into two subdivisions. The first is the somatic nervous system, which concerned with somatic functions and is responsible for muscular activities and movements of the body, while the second is the autonomic nervous system and is concerned with regulation of visceral or vegetative functions. So it's otherwise called vegetative or involuntary nervous system. This autonomic nervous system consists of two other divisions, the sympathetic division and the parasympathetic division. So in this section we focus on the central nervous system and later we'll look at the peripheral system. So this central nervous system is the basis, as far as anyone can tell, of all mental and behavioral activity. It consists of the brain in the skull, which carries out the higher and more complex mental and behavioral activities. And the spinal cord running down the middle of the vertebral column, which carries out the simple levels of behavioral organization. So starting by the brain. So the area that I'm coloring now called the cerebrum, and it's the largest part of the brain and controls voluntary actions, speech, senses, thought, and memory. In the central structures of the brain, we have the thalamus that integrates and relays sensory information to the cortex, and the hypothalamus located below the thalamus and regulates automatic functions. Those two structures make part of the diencephalon. have the cerebellum, which traditionally has been known to control equilibrium and coordination and contributes to the generation of muscle tone. And finally, we have the brainstem, which connects the brain with the spinal cord. So if you want to learn more about the anatomy of the brain, you can look at the previous videos. So now we're gonna look at the different parts of the spinal cord. So here in the middle we have the cervical enlargements that gives rise to the spinal nerves that excite the portion of the cord and from the brachial plexus, which innervates the upper extremities. This cervical enlargement is covered by the membranous covering called also meninges, and it protects the spinal cord. And here we have the vertebral column, also called bony covering, and it's a flexible column extending from neck to thigh made of a series of bones. The major function of the vertebral column is protection of the spinal cord, and it also provides stiffening from the body. And in this part we have the lumbosacral enlargements, includes spinal nerves that from the lumbar and sacral plexuses, which innervate the lower extremities. The spinal cord is held in place by the filum terminal, and it's a slender extension of dural linings. So that is all. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe if you like my videos.